for me to dream of being a leading actor already uh, seemed unfair. We didn't really have a long period of courtship.
Yeah.
We just went in for
Huh.
the real deal. I knew that my stint at Yeh Hai Mohabbatein is going to end sooner or later.
Yeah.
The show is not going to go on forever. So what will remain is the relationship that the two of us shares. I felt that she's going to be an orthodox, a bit of a conservative person who's probably not traveled as much as I have, and you just assume, you just judge the book by its cover, and that's what happened. But when I started talking to her, I said no. It was annoying about all that people had to say. What I went through, being categorized as Divyanka's husband, I realized that it doesn't just happen to me. It happens to a lot of people, whether it's the kins, whether it's the relatives, or whether whatever it is. Referring me to as Divyanka's husband, fine. There is no problem initially, but once I've created a name for myself, once I've worked enough, then start respecting my identity also.
If Smiles could kill, he'd be in a prison right now for, I don't know, killing how many people already. He has one permanent victim who has been ruling the hearts of many millions around this country and worldwide. But when I met him today for the first time in person, I just realized he's a gem of a person. And this had made me much more excited to be involving in a conversation with him today, only exclusively on Bollywood Bubble. So Vivek, welcome to Bollywood Bubble.
Thank you for such a lovely and gracious introduction.
सच होता है तो निकल ही जाता है.
ओए होए होए. वाह, मजा आ गया.
But I want to start by asking you, like, today you have so much success at your feet. You have made a name for yourself. People know you. People recognize you. But where it all started? How did the bug of acting, I'll say, bit you, and how did you kind of decide to enter into this industry of showbiz?
Okay, so it goes back to my childhood. Bug of acting, I wouldn't really call it that, because that time it was more about the performance. Being a kid, every other birthday party, whatever social gathering we would adhere to, I would be the performer. I would be like the one stealing the limelight. And very naturally, it just happened by default. And my parents, I don't think they ever really assessed that in a positive way. Of course, they were happy, and they would take it very lightly. They never took that seriously. As I grew up, I went to the UK to study. और वहाँ पर ऐसा हुआ कि my father is a lawyer, so he was very particular about me finishing off my post-grad. He said, "Okay, whatever you want to do, first get your act right, your academics right, like most parents in our country." So he said that once all of that was done, I was then working in London for a few years. Then eventually I came back to India because of some issues at that time. The government had changed, and there were a lot of people were sent back because they did not fit into the salary bracket that the government had set. तो जब वापस आने के बाद I could not really find the job satisfaction in whatever I was doing. So my mother was very persistent, and she said that why don't you go after something that you've always wanted to do, which is being the performer, being the entertainer. And I was really, I was taken aback because all these years, we had never had a talk regarding this. There was no conversation, no mention of acting or performing arts or anything like that. So I was blown away, and I said, okay, let me just give it a shot. So I started doing modeling, and then one thing led to another. I came to Bombay for an ad shoot, and then subsequently I started auditioning. And I remember that I had decided that I'd only go to Mumbai for 6 months. Something happens, something works out, great. If it doesn't, then it's probably not my thing, and I probably don't possess the talent, or the right skills that are required to be here. तो फिर मैं वापस जाने की कभी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी. I just remained here and then काम मिलता चला गया. Did my first show as Rajveer Singh Inspector in Veera.
Yeah.
And then Yeh Hai Mohabbatein happened, and then found my wife, and then I did a couple of shows in TV, and then yeah. So today I complete about 8 years. So yeah, it's been
6 महीने
beautiful.
के 8 साल हो गए.
Yeah, it's been beautiful. Yeah, it's
and
been
it's just
fantastic.
growing and it's gonna grow. But it's very refreshing to see like your mother actually kind of started that conversation for you to fulfill your dream, because usually we hear stories ना कि माँ बाप को थोड़ा apprehension होता है about this field.
My father did.
Yeah.
My father is very apprehensive. Even till date, he is still apprehensive and skeptical. And he keeps a check on me. What am I doing? मैं बिगड़ तो नहीं गया. मैंने कहा पापा अभी शायद उम्र काफ़ी आगे, मतलब टाइम आगे, मैं काफ़ी बड़ा हो गया हूँ अब बिगड़ने के लिए. बिगड़ना होता तो मैं जब बाहर था तब बिगड़ता या शुरुआती दौर में. But you know, he's always a little, what to say, insecure. You know, because finding work, it does take time, and you can be resting between projects, and that is a regular phenomena. It's a regular practice. Everyone's accustomed to here in this city. But my father and my parents, my family, they're from Chandigarh. So for them, it's still, you know, okay, all right.
But like when you started you started with some smaller roles, some supporting roles. Was there ever any apprehension regarding that? Because everyone dreams to be a leading actor one day. And I'm sure you also have that kind of a dream, a vision, and
See, I did, but I also am a pragmatic person that way, that I've just come to the city without any qualification, prerequisites of being an actor. I've not really done anything, you know, in terms of drama. I mean, whatever, naturally, I'm a good observer. And now when I think of it, when I retrospect, I've always been an emotional person. I am a good observer. I like to be with people, hear their stories, tell them my stories. So all of these things put together, by default, naturally worked in my favor into getting the roles that I did. Not that I had any qualification, like I said. So for me to dream of being a leading actor already seemed unfair to others, I felt. So I have to take the route of maybe learning the craft and then going it the right way. I mean, when I deserve, I will get it. So maybe I came with a mature mindset that way, and not be after के नहीं. जैसे I know there are a lot of people who are waiting for years कि नहीं हमें जब perfect role मिलेगा तभी हम कुछ करेंगे. But then I thought, you know, it's better to be seen than just keep waiting around, lurking around for no reason.
But as you said, you are practical in your approach, but you are emotional as well. So did ever happen in the beginning, like the emotions kind of took over the practicality and you kind of chose some work that you wish you hadn't done at that time?
Of course, that happens, and I think I'm glad that happened, because at that particular time you can't really introspect and you think, oh, you know, I've made a mistake. But in the longer run, even the worst job teaches you something. Even the worst job will land you somewhere better, somewhere good, that eventually you become, you know, you take pride in and saying that, you know, this is what I've done. So I don't think there is any harm in doing whatsoever work. I mean, I started when I was 18, 19. I know that everyone does odd jobs in the UK when you're going as a student and you do like part-time jobs and all of that. But my first job was a bartender, and I used to do, I used to prepare drinks, but also that was a graduation. That's eventually where I moved. To begin with, I was a glass collector, collecting glass and broken bottles off the floor while everyone was partying. So when you've done something like that, and when you've been a driver at Domino's Pizza, then nothing becomes small or petty or insignificant, you know, because everything takes you somewhere. So yeah.
The graph has been quite amazing to see.
Yes.
From a delivery driver to bartender, then broken glass collector, because I don't know the name for it.
Yeah.
The job.
There isn't.
There
is no
broken
name for
glass
it.
collector. We'll call
glass
it that.
collector. Yeah.
But do we see a bar here somewhere? I'm sure that there needs to be a day that when we kind of see it coming live, we see your skills behind the bar.
I can do cocktails.
Yeah, surely we need to plan one day when we can do that.
Done.
Yeah, but when Yeh Hai Mohabbatein happened, it changed your life, I think, completely in a professional as well as in personal capacity too. To get a show from Ekta Kapoor, she's like the Zarina of this industry. To get an offer from her and to kind of be a part of a show that was already running so successfully. Firstly, how was it getting that offer for you? Was it a little surprising, and how did kind of things changed when you started working on it?
Honestly, it was surprising and it wasn't at the same time. Why it was because I get a sudden call. I had not auditioned for this part. So that was surprising bit, and it was a big show which I had not known at that time because I never used to watch TV myself. The non-surprising part was that because I was already playing an inspector, so they saw me in the uniform. So the creative director, who's a very dear friend to us now, Sandeep Sikand, he's obviously for many years now he's been a dear friend. So he cast me, I think, based on the look that I carried in the show, and they said, okay, cast this guy as the ACP. तो मेरा promotion हो गया from inspector to ACP.
ये सही है, promotion तो आगे बढ़े पर promotion लेके बढ़े.
Correct. And a bigger show with a bigger production, bigger channel, and channel तो was the same, but yeah, bigger production in the.
But when you kind of started dating Divyanka during the show, it happened during the show, right?
Yes, I mean we didn't really have a long period of courtship. We just went in for the real deal.
When you first started seeing Divyanka during the shoot of the show, was there any apprehension of the fact that about mixing your personal and professional life?
No, I mean I knew that my stint at Yeh Hai Mohabbatein is going to end sooner or later. The show is not going to go on forever. So what will remain is that is the relationship that the two of us share. So it had nothing to do with professional. Of course, we are professionals, and we were back then also. So we did not let our personal engagement or relationship get in the way of our profession at all.
Yeah. But what was it about her that kind of first clicked with you that this is someone like I vibe with, or this is someone I'm interested to know more about?
Her honesty, her positivity, and the behind the simplicity and the honesty, there was an enormous amount of how to say it. She is a very pragmatic and realistic person. I felt that she's going to be an orthodox, a bit of a conservative person who's probably not traveled as much as I have, and you just assume, you just judge the book by its cover, and that's what happened. But when I started talking to her, I said, no, she is okay, so she may not have traveled as much, but she actually knows a lot about cultures and nationalities and people and a lot of other things, So, which got me intrigued and interested in her, and I wanted to know more. And so, yeah, it just happened in a jiffy that we two got engaged, and then.
Yeah, it was all very quick, and but I think when you know it's right, you just know.
Yeah,
you don't need to wait for it.
I think 7 years and counting. Yeah. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, I was just reading about कि actually what was the year you got married, and I read 2016 मैंने कहा है, मैंने कहा ऐसा लग रहा है अभी तो हुआ ही एक या 2 साल ही तो हुए शायद. But that's as fresh as you guys. The chemistry between you, it's as fresh even today.
हमें भी ऐसा ही लगता है actually. हमें भी ऐसा ही लगता है कि ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं हुआ है.
पर ये अच्छा है ना. So it's kind
course.
of, you are kind of still kind of getting to know much more about
Yes.
each other every day.
Actually.
So like you have worked across mediums, films, TV and web. But have you ever faced any kind of challenges while making a transition to another medium? Because when I have spoken to many TV actors, they say ki when they kind of go into films, many filmmakers, many casting agents as well have this kind of perception that they don't want to, they are a little apprehensive of working with TV actors. Have you ever faced that?
Yeah, that happens quite a lot. Largely because I feel that so the medium TV is generally based on TRP and it's very last minute. Okay, so they're working under immense pressure because they need to create enough footage by the end of the day, 20, 22 minutes, however much each show has its own targets. So you end up becoming, you're not able to work on detail. Whether it's the actor or the director, they want to do a lot. Nobody has come to the city to work in a mediocre fashion. Everybody wants to prove their worth, work hard and work on detailing. But just the format doesn't permit you to do that. So as it goes on for weeks and months and years, you become very methodical as to, okay, this scene is only, it only requires 3 motions and it's in the snap of a finger. And I'm generalizing this. I'm sure there are a lot of TV actors who are extremely talented, and I give immense respect to TV because that's where I come from, and I'll always be thankful and grateful to that medium because it's taught me so much. But for a film director, as opposed to, this is what I said about TV, but then film or web series, they normally work on detailing. They conduct workshops. There's immense work on detailing, on the character, so on and so forth, which eventually creates a better result on the screen. So I think it's just that they are apprehensive, but they shouldn't. I feel the industry should be more trusting of people coming from TV, because given a choice of more time, it's like, performing under pressure. One who has learned to perform under pressure can definitely perform with a great luxury of time. So yeah.
And I just remember, like you had Abhi said, your father was a little apprehensive about you, and he still is. How was his first meeting with Divyanka like? Because she was a big star at the moment. She's a bigger one today, but at that time she was a big name. So how was his first meeting with him?
So my family is not starstruck by anyone actually. My father, I would love to see him meeting Dharmendra ji if he ever does, because he's one, and Mohammad Rafi ji. These are two people that he is always kind of admired, but otherwise he's never spoken about any actors in a way that, oh, I'd love to meet them, or there is a, so there was none of that. So when he met her, he met in that capacity of the potential father-in-law. So he was just concerned about how she is and how the two of us are together and like that.
So was there a kind of a comfort between them from the starting?
There was, because I had already briefed them about her. That this is how she is and all of that. So they kind of like that, and then they came with that mindset that okay, so I have not gone around introducing the idea to my parents about, oh, this is the girl that I want to marry. It's never happened. So, and they kind of trust my judgment that if he's brought, this is the first girl that he's kind of brought home, brought to our attention, then there must be what to say, gravitas. There must be some depth to it.
True. And like your relationship kind of started in the beginning of your career only. It was very new to. Was it difficult to kind of deal with all the scrutiny that was coming around with it?
Yeah, it was. It was annoying about all that people had to say. Like I said, that I had not been in the limelight. It was not like, oh, I was an experienced actor and I was used to all these news or speculations or rumors and all of that. So it did take me. I was taken aback, and it was very disheartening at that time. But then we came out of it stronger because thankfully Divyanka, because she had the experience, so she kind of mentored us that it is important that you keep your sanity, and because these things are not to be taken seriously, because what will stay with us is this, the family. Rest everything else will come and go.
Yeah, but I must say that I admired the way you handled it now, because see, Divyanka, I feel like she had kind of faced that kind of scrutiny before. She had been in the limelight for a while to kind of know how to deal with it and how to kind of go around things. But for you, it was very new. And for you to kind of handle it with dignity and respect at the same time, and never be mean to people, it was very admirable to see. So thank you for that.
Thank
firstly.
you. Wow, that was so many years back.
But like, did it get annoying because she had her previous relationship was also in news, people knew about it. So when people kind of start creeping up that name again and again in conversation, did it get annoying for you?
It does, to a great extent. That why don't you just leave us alone? But then I guess that's par and parcel of being in the limelight, of being part of the industry, you know, that everything that you do, the way you move, the way you carry yourself, everything gets talked about, and you can't help it. So I understood that, and it's fine.
Yeah, and like today people know you as Vivek Dahiya, people know you, know your work, people know your repertoire, people respect it, and kind of your work comes out of it. But initially, did it ever bothered you that people kind of refer to you as Divyanka's husband, or kind of your work maybe suffered because of it?
See, I feel that what I went through, being categorized as, you know, Divyanka's husband, I realized that it doesn't just happen to me. It happens to a lot of people, whether it's the kins, whether it's the relatives, or whether, you know, whatever it is. And I've always felt very strongly about when there is somebody talking about nepotism, how that star kids have it easy, so on and so forth. I feel that, you know, you can't compare apples to oranges. It's unfair, and I feel that everyone goes through their own set struggle, you know. Yeah, okay, some have it easy because the first film or the first project they get is it just, you know, it's served in a platter. Of course that happens. But then do you realize that somebody who's born in a business or a first class or a charter plane, when that kid grows up, what is the motivation? When you've seen it all, when you've seen a chartered life, where do you go from there? How do you motivate or push yourself to become a better version of perhaps your father? So it is not easy. I put you in a luxury penthouse for 2 months, you'll come out arrogant. That happens, that's human psychology, okay? We start taking things for granted, and then we don't want to work towards them. So that is one aspect of it. The other aspect is, I think that each person, every individual is entitled to their own identity. Do not take that away from them. So I felt that referring me to as Divyanka's husband, fine, there is no problem initially. But once I've created a name for myself, once I've worked enough, then start respecting my identity also. And do that with others is what I feel, you know, because it takes immense amount of hard work to get there. So luckily it doesn't happen to me anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I have come out of that. But it's something that I've always felt very strongly. So yeah.
That's why I started with saying that today people know Vivek Dahiya and people respect that and people give you work because of that and the kind of repertoire that you have. But that's what very beautifully you have put, matlab, how it has been and how you kind of saw things. But like it's been a while since you did fiction TV. So do you feel like you have kind of moved on from that space and other things kind of excite you more? Or is it like an hiatus?
No, somewhat. I would say that I have moved away, unless, see, I'm all about good performance. I'm all about a good story. I'm all about a good performance.
Yeah.
Never say never that I will never go back to TV. That doesn't happen. Not in my case. I never say anything to कि नहीं ये मैं वापस नहीं करूँगा. But I'd really like to focus on films, and because my energy is like that. I feel that I like to work on detail. So TV, for the only reason it has those foundations, it has those restrictions of not being able to, you know, I'd like to go for a multiple take. Okay, one take is not enough. Let's do another one to make it that perfect, at least in my eyes. I'm a director's actor. I'd like to sit down with the director and really work on the detailing of the scene. Let's construct it. Let's make it beautiful and memorable for the audience. So, yeah, that's the environment that I want to work in.
When your personal life gets much more attention than your professional life, and people start noting you more for the first former one instead of your work, did it get bothering for you as an actor?
Of course, it happens. I won't lie. I mean, it happens, but it's only a matter of a day. Next morning, I get a reset, and then I just move on. I don't linger on.
And what is the future vision for you? Or vision, when I say, it can be like a 5-year, 10-year plan, or maybe something that in the immediate future as well, that you have for Vivek Dahiya as an actor, as a person.
In the next couple of years only, I will be doing good work and international work. I want to see myself doing international projects, you know, and there's no bar. I think I belong there. Mentally, I'm already there. Okay. Now, with my heart, with all heart and all everything, like every cell, every ounce of my blood is already there. So very soon, in the near time, that you'll see me doing some really fantastic work.
But in personal life, are there plans to extend your family or maybe embrace parenthood soon?
Sooner or later, yes. Sooner or later.
But have you ever discussed how many kids you want or how many kids?
We've never had those discussions. Yeah.
Okay.
We've never
gone
down that route.
Yeah. No, but whenever it happens, I'm sure it's gonna be you're gonna make beautiful parents whenever it happens.
Thank you very much.
Because of the personality that you two guys have, and we have seen her be a amazing mother on screen, Divyanka. So we know that she'll make. And for you, this will be a new role we'll see you in whenever it happens, and we'll be very excited for that.
Thank you,
but
much appreciated.
Till then, I just want everything that you want in your personal and professional life to kind of get fulfilled and achieve, because the soul that you are, it deserves to be nurtured and it deserves to get what it needs. But thank you so much, Vivek. It has been a pleasure getting to know you. It has been a pleasure seeing you on screen, and today off screen, much more bigger pleasure.
Thank you.
Wishing you lots and lots of love and luck for everything you do in future. And thank you for giving me this.
Thank you very much. I much appreciate it.
I had a good time. Hope you did too.
Yes, I had a lovely chat. I think I don't remember the last time I had an interview which where we talked about everything. You know, it was so nicely encompassed and good one. I know you're going to go places, and just remember me.
अरे उसके लिए हमें lunch dinner date करनी पड़ेगी ना.
Done.
But thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Hi, this is Vivek Dahiya. You're watching me on Bollywood Bubble. Please like, share, and subscribe.